H33 by James Cary.
A, G, C, B, W.
Charles? Shut up.
It's Gordon who's muttering.
I know, but I prefer telling you to shut up.
Archie, just because you can't crack a simple puzzle set by the Germans...
A simple puzzle?
To be fair, we were up against the Enigma machine.
Well, come on, it's only a machine. I know Archie comes from a place where machines are viewed with intense suspicion. I believe the flush toilet is still to catch on. And the last time a train pulled in, it was worshipped as a god.
Gordon, will you testify it was an accident if I stabbed Charles in the neck with this pencil?
Guys, just calm down. Charles, you don't realise how complicated it is. This machine has 3 rotors, each with 26 settings, giving us 17,000 possible starting positions.
Exactly. Thank you, Gordon.
And the 3 rotors are interchangeable, so that's 6 different settings. So that takes it up to 100,000 starting positions.
That's true. Huh?
And they actually have 5 wheels to choose the 3 from, so that's 60 different combinations. That's 1 million starting positions.
Shut up, Gordon. Actually, that still felt pretty good.
Morning, H33. How are things going?
Same as before, Josh. Still trying to crack the German codes.
Oh, I thought you did that last week.
Yes, and now we'll have to do it again.
They change their codes every day.
Oh, well, that's hardly fair. It's bad enough they speak German.
Except these Germans are in Norway, Josh.
Germans in Norway? No, Gordon. You're thinking of Norwegians. They're the ones who live in Norway. I have an atlas if you'd like to check.
Yes, but now there are Germans there too, after they invaded.
Oh, no. Just what do these Germans think they're doing? They can't just walk into other countries. Something must be done.
Yeah, we're doing it. It's called war.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, war is not good.
So, what are the Germans doing in Norway?
It's a long story, Josh, and I want to explain this without you getting a nosebleed. But right now, the Germans are threatening the Russian port of Murmansk with the Finns.
The Germans have fins? Well, I knew they were barely human, but I've never realised they were essentially fish. Gosh, no wonder they make such good submarines.
We haven't been able to crack any of these ones sent by Gunter for a week.
Oh, he's called Gunter, is he?
No, we don't know what he's called. We just call him that.
Why don't you know his name?
Because we're not pen pals.
Put it this way, every day, Gunter writes us a different letter in a different code that he gets out of his code book.
Right, so you then look in your code book and work out what the letter says.
Josh, we don't have a copy of their code book.
Why not?
The Germans don't have H33 on their mailing list.
Well, that's hardly fair either. They should at least send it to their pen pals.
We're not pen pals.
Oh, yes, right. Well, would it help if you had a book of the codes for the German army?
Well, yes, it would.
Like this one?
But what? Well, where the hell did you get that?
Well, it's been lying around for a couple of weeks. SOE found it on a raid into Norway and...
And it's been sitting in your office, unused, all this time?
No, it's been used. It's been propping up my desk for the last fortnight. It's beautifully level now, perfect for shove Hartley.
Great. Well, we'll take it now.
What about my desk? What can I put under the leg now?
How about your head?
All right, Gordon, what'll it be?
Do you mind if I ask for something a bit special?
Oh, well, if that's what you're after, I'll have to get someone to look after the bar.
No, it's not that. It's a drink made of carrot, spinach and beetroot.
Carrot, spinach and beetroot. You mean soup?
No, a cold drink. It's healthy. Makes you big and strong, according to the greengrocer.
Let me guess. He said the carrot will make you see in the dark, the spinach as strong as Popeye, and the beetroot...
Might make me fly?
Gordon, you've got to stop falling for this stuff. Look what happened last week. What did the butcher say eating enough tripe would do?
Give me X-ray vision.
What did it actually do?
Well, I don't really remember last week. I was so ill.
Good evening to you, Mrs. B.
Oh, you're in a good mood. Has Charles trodden on a landmine?
I wish. No, it's the fact that for the first time in this war, things are finally going our way.
And look at the newspaper. General Percival confident of defending Singapore. He says he's got 80,000 men.
Aye, the newspaper, which I don't trust, censored by the government, which I didn't vote for, quoting an army general whom I don't believe.
Archie, don't you think you're being a bit cynical?
No, Gordon, you're just impressionable.
That's not true.
It is true.
OK, maybe it is.
Look, there's a few clues left in the crossword. Why don't you help Mrs. B finish it?
No fear. Crosswords are no fun with you, brainy lot. Especially Charles. 2 minutes of intense concentration and it's all over.
Sorry, you're still talking about crosswords?
Oh, good evening. Are we looking at crosswords?
You're not getting your hands on mine.
We're still on crosswords, are we?
Yes, Archie. Actually, I know the chap who set the one on Tuesday. Teaches classics at St. Seb's. Talk about pretentious.
God, you're calling him pretentious. Nice one, yeah. I take it in your linguistic travels, ever come across the expression pot calling the kettle black?
I have, and you know the Armenians have a very interesting rendering of that phrase.
No, they don't. Who wants a drink?
Not me.
Minka, there you are. Wondering where you've been.
I've been here for many minutes, but you not see me.
How do you do that?
When Nazi come your village, you learn to blend in while still carrying machine gun.
But you're not carrying a machine gun. Oh, there it is. Very good.
Wasn't your usual, Minka?
I haven't got that much vodka in the cellar.
I know. I make my own. My sister in Cardiff sent me new recipe for chicken sapis.
I don't have much Polish, but chicken sapis means barking dog.
Yes, is 104% proof. The trick is to get in the extra 4%. Sometimes it go wrong, and woof!
Morning, H33.
Morning, Josh.
Oh, well, we all seem in good heart.
It's been a lot easier decoding the messages with this German code book, and it's so beautifully laid out.
Clarity, simplicity. The Germans really know what they're doing.
Oh, steady on, Charles. Whose side are you on?
I'd have thought that was obvious.
Germany's.
Charles, you're not one of them, are you?
Of course not.
Well, there are grave concerns about German sympathisers at Bletchley Park. Drastic measures are being taken. I've got Minka on the lookout for signs of treachery.
Josh, that is not a good idea. She does tend to overreact to anything even slightly German.
How do you mean?
Well, the other day, she nearly machine-gunned Alan Turing when she saw him eating some Battenberg.
It's true. It's lucky that pile of Bath buns took most of the burst.
Perhaps that was a little excessive.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm in favour of torturing Nazis as much as the next man, especially when that next man to be tortured is Charles.
Well, there seem to be a lot of German
Oh,
sympathisers.
Josh, come now. There really aren't.
Nonsense. There are dozens of people wandering around saying that the Allies are doing badly and the Germans are doing very well.
Yeah, the thing is, Josh, the Allies are doing badly.
In what sense, badly?
Losing ships, armies, countries.
That's not always bad.
Yes, it is, Josh.
That's not what Pater says. No guts, no...
Laurie?
No guts, no bowels, no problem. It's his contention that it's possible for man to fight without his internal organs.
And we're all very glad he's currently leading an entire division in North Africa.
Exactly. No one can say Germans are doing well there.
Well, at least the war's going well for H33. We've got the code book.
Excellent. And if you need another, don't forget to drop Gunter a line, will you?
No, Josh, we don't actually...
Gordon, let it go.
Right.
Gordon, chuck us a code book. Oh, don't let it fall on the floor.
No, don't worry. It's very hard-wearing. Germans make things to last.
Why don't you just sign up for the S-bloody-S?
Sorry to interrupt, chaps. Bit of a security sweep, looking for all things German.
We look for anything German. So far I have piece of pumpernickel, a little Dachshund. Quiet!
And who's this?
This is man with German measles.
I really do feel quite unwell.
Silence!
Now, what do we have here?
That's the book you gave us.
It's got all the German codes in it.
So it was written by a German.
Well, obviously.
Well, I'm afraid that book has to be arrested.
Arrested? You cannot arrest a book.
Minka,
Yes.
arrest the book.
Yeah, he said arrest it, not pump it full of bullets.
This is how we arrest people in Polish resistance.
By shooting them?
Yes. And then we burn. Good old chicken sapis. It's the extra 4% that gives it the woof. Quiet, evil German dog!
I cannot believe this.
It has to be drastic. It's the only language these German sympathisers understand. Apart from German, obviously.
Well done, Josh. We've been trying for months to teach you that Germans speak German.
But any day now, the Germans are going to attack Murmansk. Now we won't know when. And there are convoys going there all the time. If it falls, our ships will be stranded, dead meat, easy pickings out in the sea.
Especially for all those German fish.
German fish?
You know, the ones with the fins.
You weren't there, Minka. The main thing is, it makes sense in his head.
So, will things be a bit tricky without the code book?
Aye. Incredibly tricky. 17,000 times trickier, to be precise.
Don't worry. Remember what Pater says.
You're all going to die a violent and painful death?
No, he does say that, but I was thinking of what he says about morale. Keep your spirits up and you can defy the laws of physics. Or was it the laws of Denmark? Oh, I forget which. Cheerio.
I cannot believe Minka burnt the book.
Yeah, it was a little steep, wasn't it?
We're going to have to slog our guts out again. It's so depressing.
Hey, if you're depressed, there's this new thing called counselling.
Counselling. Gordon, what did I say about being sucked in by fads and fashions?
They're offering it on the site for anyone who is overwhelmed with despair.
Oh, come on, Gordon. Didn't you learn how to cope with failure at school?
Well, of course he didn't. He was the cleverest kid by a mile and got into Cambridge at 16.
Even so, the place should have toughened you up a bit.
Coping with failure was part of the syllabus at Bradlaugh, was it?
Not exactly, but the prefects took it upon themselves routinely to humiliate the juniors. There was the 3-minute bell mile.
So they'd ring a bell after 3 minutes.
No, you had to run the mile carrying a church bell.
I think I might try the counselling.
Gordon?
Sorry, Minka, didn't see you there.
You need counseling.
Well, I just feel I'd be a stronger member of the team.
In Polish resistance, we had special counseling program for ex-Nazis who had to live with mental pain of betrayal.
Really?
No, we take them to forest. Dig, dig, bang, bang.
Well, certainly avoids the paperwork.
Polish resistance is known for swift justice and generous pension plan.
Really?
No, we all die young. Now, Josh told me to look out for possible German infiltrator called Gunther. If I find him, I do very nasty thing.
Minka, look, this is England. You can't just wander around with a gun doing whatever you want. Didn't see you were carrying one of those. Turns out you can wander around doing whatever you want.
Is that a German Spandau machine gun?
Yes, I know. I use German weapon, but it's such good quality.
Yeah, absolutely. The craftsmanship is marvellous.
Ha! I shoot them with German gun. It's quite big irony.
Except that's not technically irony in the strictest definition of... Although there are many definitions of what constitutes irony.
Good luck finding Gunter.
Thank you. And as you say, poodle tip.
Yes, yes, we do say that.
All right, boys, you all need another drink.
Ah,
Well, it's on the house since you're also down in the dumps. And I'll tell you what, I'll even let you get one across.
Mrs. B, for the last time, I'm not going to sleep with you.
I meant my crossword. You can finish it.
What day's crossword is this?
Tuesdays.
Ah, so the setter is Professor Lionel Mackintosh. He's an insufferable man. He'll have done some clever things with the clues. The first letter of every clue will spell the name of a cricketer. Ah, yes. B-R-A-D-M-A-N.
Bradman. Don Bradman.
I've had him.
of course you have.
Ended up in his boat coming back from Australia.
Never heard it called that before.
He really does like a bouncer. And a full toss.
Yeah, all right, Mrs. B.
So, if the first three solutions will start with D-O-N, that's going to make it much easier. Hang on. Yes, that's it.
That's what?
Knowing the setter of the puzzle makes all the difference.
What are you talking about?
First rule of warfare, know thine enemy. It's in Clausewitz's book, On War. Or is it Sun Tzu? Or is it the Bible?
Well, they're easily confused.
I thought the first rule of fighting was you don't talk about fighting.
We should probably not talk about it here. Come on, up to my room. Close the door, Gordon.
Look, what's all this about?
Look, it's simple. How does Gunther use his code book?
He looks up the 3-letter key code for the day, sets his dials to that code, then chooses his own 3-letter code at random.
So, what if we manage to guess that random 3-letter key code?
Well, it'd be like having the book back. But we cannot guess because, it's random. You know, the operator can choose any 3 letters he likes. MCC, OBE, RAC.
None of those 3-letter sets you've just said are random. They all mean something.
Yeah, but I could have said PYG or KGW or, I don't know, BBC.
BBC, you see? QED.
That's 8 letters.
Shut up, Gordon.
Gunter's up in the frozen wastelands of Norway. Every time he sends a message, he has to think of a random 3-letter combination again and again.
And he could choose any 3 letters he wants. That's 17,000 combinations.
But he probably doesn't choose randomly. Because people don't choose things randomly. But we might be able to guess. Either way, our chances are better than 17,000 to 1.
Yeah, you might have something there.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, I know, I am clever.
That is true.
Don't encourage him. So, what next?
Well, we work out what letters Gunter would choose. We need to build up a picture of Gunter, a profile.
We don't know anything about Gunter. He's not even called Gunter.
Well, let's write down what we do know. What do we know about Gunter?
He's German?
Yes, good. Yeah, he's German. Let's write that down.
Gunter, German. Except he might not be German. He could be Austrian.
Yeah, good point, Gordon, yeah. Write down German or Austrian.
Or German-speaking Czech. Or a conscripted Norwegian.
Yeah, so write down German or not German.
Well, I think this is going really well.
Archie, we do not have time for heavy sarcasm.
I think we do. In fact, we've got all the time in the world.
But we just need to get into the mind of the soldier. He's freezing cold. He's miles from home, even if he's Norwegian.
Eva. Maybe he types in EVA, if that's the name of his girlfriend.
Good thinking.
Well, what if his girlfriend isn't Eva? What if it's Heidi?
Then the letters will be H-E-I. Very good.
Oh, we could go on like this forever.
No, we couldn't. No, there's only about 30 or so girls' names of his age. I used to travel in Germany. I'll draw up a table.
Well, how do we know he's into girls?
What do you mean, Archie?
Well, maybe he plays for City and not United.
You think he's a footballer?
No, it doesn't matter.
Archie, you think of German military terms, acronyms, and place names.
All right. Do you mind if I do this next door?
I don't feel you have to.
Well, it's just any minute now you're going to put on some Wagner.
Maybe a cycle of the ring?
Yeah, well, I'm not that interested in Wagner's Ring. See you later.
What shall I do?
Here's a copy of Mein Kampf. See if anything springs to mind.
Oh, okay.
Right, I've got a list of German girls' names here.
Morning, Gordon. You're in early.
I am not early. You were late.
Oh, well, maybe a couple of minutes, but...
Sloppiness is not acceptable in this hut.
Are you all right, Gordon?
Sorry, guys, I'm just a bit out of sorts. Late night.
Well, it was your own fault. You insisted on listening to the entire ring cycle.
Nonetheless, I made it in on time, unlike you two. It is sloppiness and lateness that has brought about a malaise in this hut that is a disgrace to our Saxon heritage. Sorry, there I go again. Sorry, I just need to relax. Put on some music. Hope you don't mind, Charles. I borrowed some of your Wagner records. I found them strangely soothing last night.
Charles, could I have a word?
Yes?
You didn't by any chance give him any German propaganda material to read, did you?
Well, just a copy of Mein Kampf.
Mein Kampf? You've got a copy of Mein Kampf?
Well, of course. Anyway, I didn't expect him to take the content seriously.
Well, now look at him. He's become a radicalised Nazi.
Well, how was I to know that would happen?
Well, I don't know. You know, you took a young, impressionable man, kept him up all night, let him read the seminal text of the Nazi movement whilst playing in Wagner's Ring Cycle.
Yeah, good point.
What are you talking about? Are you conspiring against me? Like the Allied nations at Versailles, robbing a great nation of its noble place and enslaving them and their children?
Gordon, you remember what I said about not believing everything you read?
Yes, I do. But to be honest, Archie, I don't trust you anymore.
Why not?
You're a Bolshevik. I've seen the true way, the ultimate destiny of the fatherland, and the Reich that would last for 1,000 years.
Gordon, you were meant to read the book for research purposes, so that we can get into the mind of Gunter.
Gunter, yes. I like the name Gunter. It is a strong German name.
I hear the name Gunther.
That is because I am Gunter.
You, Gunther?
Minka, nice to see you. Isn't it, Charles?
Yes, and it sounded like Gordon said he was Gunter, didn't it? But in fact, Gordon was about to say that he was Gunter's
worst enemy.
That is not true. These are Bolshevik lies.
So, finally, we find a Nazi in our midst.
Minka, there is no way that Gordon could possibly be a Nazi. Let all just calm down.
Yes, listen to this music. It's the masterful work of a master race.
Turn it off!
Now, Gunther, how about we take a little walk into the woods?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
We take Spade. You diggy dig.
Minka, no, he's just confused.
He is Nazi spy and he must die.
I am not afraid to die. The most sacred of all sacrifices is that of the blood poured out for one's fatherland.
No, I think you'll find that Mein Kampf actually says the most sacred of all rights is man's right
You're really
to the
not helping there, Charles.
Now, H33, what's going on here?
Josh, we have a little problem. Minka's got it into her head that Gordon's a not.
He is Nazi. He says his name is Gunther. He quote Mein Kampf.
Is this true?
Don't say anything, Gordon.
Well, I'm afraid as a precaution we shall have to place you under arrest.
Arrest? Arrest is for girly, pampy, namby British identity all day with Matthew Man Jack.
I'm sorry, but these are the procedures we have to follow. Place him under safe custody.
Oh, goody.
Now, Minka, we talked about this. You just keep him under guard. You do not do... What was it called?
Polish waltz.
What's the Polish waltz?
Well, you take naughty Nazi, put his feet in metal bucket, pour in water, take battery from big lorry, and he dance.
So, none of that, Minka. Now, off you go, Gordon. Left, right, left, right, left. I say, you're jolly good at this marching all of a sudden.
Don't worry, Gunther. Gordon, yeah, we'll think of something.
I welcome custody and prison. The Fuhrer himself went to jail. I consider it an honour to suffer as he did.
Well, now what we're going to do?
I was thinking about finishing the crossword.
What?
Well, you heard him. He's turned into a Nazi. What can we do?
Well, we can denazify him, turn him back.
Well, how on earth could we do that?
Well, we can make him read the seminal work for the British way of life.
What, Tom Brown's School Days?
Yes, of course. Fight Hitler's propaganda with tales of a small boy being systematically beaten by a prefect.
Well, they're very good stories, though.
Look, how about we just talk to Gordon, tell him everything that's good about this country. We can both think of 5 good things, can't we?
I'm sure I'll think of something.
Now, I better go and try these 3-letter key codes on the machines.
3-letter key codes?
Yeah, the key codes. Remember your brilliant plan of getting inside the mind of Gunther, which turned Gordon into a Nazi?
Well, I don't have to take all the credit for the plan.
Just been at Hut 17.
Any joy?
None of the key codes worked.
Pity. I have managed to get an audience with Gordon.
Where is he?
The coal shed. Apparently Minka said that it was the best place to defend. Something to do with lines of fire and killing fields.
So what are we going to say to Gordon?
Well, I've made a list.
Me too. What have you got?
Oh, well, hang on. We're being beckoned by Minka.
Cooey! You want to see Nazi scum? You have 5 minutes.
But we're not quite...
4 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, Gordon.
Charles, Archie, guten Tag.
Clicked your heels there. Very good.
What can I do for you?
Gordon, have you ever thought about England?
Well,
Wait. I thought we were talking about Britain.
Oh, England, Britain, yeah, what's the difference?
Are you joking?
Well, England is the best part of Britain.
Best part since when?
I didn't mean best as in superior. I meant best as in the sense of largest. Although much about England is superior.
I thought you were Scottish.
Well, technically, yes, but, I mean, have you been to Scotland?
you see, this is a nation divided against itself. We need a strong leader to unite us together and march to glory and freedom.
No, Gordon, we don't. In fact, one of Britain's finest institutions is the Mother of Parliaments, the seat of centuries of democracy.
The women only got the vote 24 years ago. Even now it's a cartel of elite. What else have you got on that list?
The class system. Yeah, one of the best things about England.
The class system. That's one of the worst things about England.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the sense of fair play.
Oh, aye. Yeah, walking into countries all over the world and saying, hello, we're in charge now. Could you take my bags to the best hotel and fix us a drink?
Well, we bring order wherever we go.
Order in the sense of clear boundaries between slaves and masters.
Archie, please.
Sorry.
And then there's the weather.
Oh, so the constant drizzle is a plus, is it?
Encourages us to be moderate. Too much sun in Europe makes the proles agitated, and you end up with revolutions. I mean, look at 1848.
Aye, revolution in 1848 would have been a good thing.
Ignore him, Gordon. And then there's the food.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, yeah, what would you say was so good about Britain?
Well, the way you put it, not much.
Oh, you're such a whiner. Nothing's ever good enough for you, is it? Just because you're working class, you think that makes you right about everything.
Well, at least I've had experience of real life, of poverty.
Stop it, both of you.
Oh, shut up, Gordon.
No, I won't. Because I can say what I want, and I live in Britain, where we have free speech, where two completely opposed people like you two can work to put aside your differences.
Well, we weren't exactly putting them aside.
Shut up, Archie. Isn't it great that I can tell you to shut up?
No.
Gordon, welcome back.
I'm sorry I got carried away with the whole Nazi thing. Don't really know what came over me.
It's amazing the effect Hitler has on people.
That must be the answer. The three-letter key code we're looking for. H-I-T.
Of course! Gordon, do you want to run down to Hut 17 and give it a try?
No, do it yourself.
Huh?
Just trying out my free speech.
Oh, I see.
It's all right. I'll go. Actually, I'm still under arrest. Might be easier if you go.
Right. I'll have a word with Josh. Try and smooth things over. Now, does that make sense, Josh?
Absolutely. So, you're saying Gunter was here and had disguised himself as Gordon and locked the real Gordon in the coal shed. Then, when we arrested the real Gunter and put him in the coal shed, he escaped, leaving behind the real Gordon.
That's right.
Sounds exactly like the sort of dastardly thing Gunter would do. Let him go, Minka.
Oh, can I not do Polish tango?
What's that?
It's like Polish waltz, but with bigger battery.
No. Out you come, Gordon.
Good news! The key code was HIT, and the message is broken.
Oh, splendid.
You have no idea what that means, do you?
No.
It means that answer to our little riddle was Hitler.
Oh, excellent. Good old Hitler.
Nazi scum!
Josh, duck!
H33 starred Robert Bathurst, Tom Goodman-Hill, Olivia Coleman, Fergus Craig, Lill Roughley, Alex MacQueen and Alex Lowe. It was written by James Cary. The producer was Adam Bromley.
H33 by James Cary.
Archie, have you finished that letter chart?
Not yet. This one's going to take all day. B, Q, C, C, H.
Archie, do you have to make such a frightful din?
Oh, excuse me, Charles. Some of us are trying to win this war.
Well, do it quietly. I'm trying to have a nap.
You really don't care who wins the war, do you?
Archie, of course I don't want Germany to win. Think of the effect a German domination of Europe would have on cuisine.
Oh, so you're fighting this war on the principle of freedom of expression in the kitchen?
Absolutely. And freedom in general. I mean, you know what Germans are like for standardization. Imagine if Europe was unified by a single power and everything got standardized, measured and regulated. Yeah, I'm fighting this war to make sure that never happens.
Ah, that's good to hear. Can I continue with my work now?
Yeah, carry on with your word puzzle.
It's not a word puzzle, it's called a letter chart.
In fact, Charles, I've got a word puzzle for you.
Proceed.
Rearrange the following words into a well-known phrase or saying. It, stick, you're up, Jaxie.
Archie, we really need to get on with these charts. Hang on. What's that?
That is a pneumatic inter-hut communication system.
How does it work?
You put a message in a canister, you put it in here, choose a hut number, and hit send. And it passes through the tubes to the destination. They're calling it the I-tube.
No, it's pointless.
It is not pointless. It can pass a message from one hut to another in a matter of seconds.
What, like a telephone?
Except this is for passing out written messages.
Oh, now you're thinking of a window.
Except this can send written messages to huts further away.
Well, now you're thinking of paper aeroplanes.
What does the message say?
It's from Hut 12, a status update. I'm bored of letter charts, off to the canteen.
Yeah. Priceless information.
You know your trouble, Charles. You're just afraid of change.
I'm not afraid of it. I dislike it.
Charles, you've got a car. That's recent technology.
No, it's a Bugatti. It's a work of art.
Well, it must be art, because it's very expensive, looks good, it's made by Italians, but it doesn't actually work.
Oh, so do the Italians not make good cars?
No, Gardner.
Minka, will you stop creeping up like that?
I creep up like a Polish tank with a cloaking device.
A cloaking device? Like in a science fiction comic?
Minka, is the cloaking device a cloak?
And is a Polish tank, in fact, a horse?
Yes. Horse with flamethrower. Clip, clop, woof. Ow, 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 ow.
How did they carry enough fuel?
Every horse tank come with little petrol pony. Is very sweet.
Well, that's one way to keep out the Germans. Or not.
British should try Polish tank. I tell Josh.
Can I have a go on the iTube?
Oh, Gordon, please. It's a waste of time. We'd be better off inventing a machine that will do this letter charting for us.
Yeah, a machine couldn't do that. You need a human brain for that job, a top mathematician.
And you're too modest to say that it's you.
Well, I would have done, but you interrupted.
I think a machine could do the letter charts.
What?
It's simple. You just need to turn the letters into values, log their position in a matrix, and cross-correlate them. Statistically significant patterns will be obvious.
What?
Charles, you're not a mathematician. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
You have no idea, do you?
None at all?
I really think it could be a war winner.
Well, there's only one way to find out. We should build one. Josh?
Who is it?
It's Archie. We've got a project we'd like to talk to you about.
I've heard all about it. Attaching that much petroleum to pony seems very cruel.
Okay, it's not Minka's horse and pony flamethrower.
Oh, sorry.
Well, could we come in to discuss it?
I'm a little busy. Do you have an appointment?
No.
Well, I can't see you now. I'm in the middle of something.
Is that something, this conversation?
Yes?
Okay, I'm going to open the door now.
Oh, morning all. Come on in.
We've had an idea for a war-winning weapon.
It's all here.
That's a piece of paper. I'm pretty sure that paper's already been invented. Not exactly a war winner.
It's on the paper, look.
It's a blueprint for a machine.
Oh, a new machine. Interesting. Well, you'll need to talk to IT in the main house.
IT?
Ian Trent. We call him IT.
Ooh, IT's in charge of the computing machines.
That's the one.
We could send him a message on the iTube.
Oh, good idea.
I'll write a note. Ask him to come over.
Ah, so we like the new iTube then?
Ooh, can I send the message?
Be my guest. Choose main house. And send.
What happened to those young chaps who used to deliver our messages by hand?
All conscripted into my father's new regiment.
Your father, General Crusher Fanshawe-Marshall, is getting a new unit.
Yes, just a regiment this time, the Bedfordshire 3rd Rifles.
I thought he was now barred from active combat after what happened to the Bedfordshire 2nd Rifles.
There were perfectly good reasons why his last unit was wiped out, and the Bedfordshire 1st.
Ah, yeah. The first were wiped out because they didn't have rifles.
Bit of a supply bish.
But the second rifles didn't do much better with rifles.
Oh, that's because they had rifles, but no boats, which are really important when you're attempting an amphibious attack on Sardinia.
They had to swim ashore. From where?
North Africa.
Well, Pater wasn't going to make that mistake again. Anyway, he's putting together a regiment for a top-secret mission that could end the war in 3 days.
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't lose that quickly.
No, we'd win in 3 days. Anyway, I can't say any more, unless, of course, you wish to sign up.
I'd rather ram my head up the back end of a Polish tank.
Ooh, it's the iTube. What does it say?
It's from IT. He says, Try turning it off and on again.
Shall we pay him a visit?
Are you IT?
Yeah, hang on. I'm on the phone to H33.
That'll be Alan cheering.
Alan, have you tried turning it off and on again? Right. Is it plugged in? Right, there's your problem. All right then, bye.
If we don't mind, we need to speak with you. Gordon, give him the drawing.
Can you build this?
Right, well, you've got the punch card here, processing information with the valves. Right. What's this big red thing here?
Oh, sorry, that's some raspberry jam.
Right. Just trying to get my head around the size of this thing. How big is this computing machine going to be?
I'm trying to keep the size down so that it could be portable, just big enough to get it onto the back of a truck.
The back of a truck? Well, it'll get knocked about and rained on.
I just need a protective flap over the top.
Flap top. I like that. Good word.
Why does it need to be on the back of a truck?
It'd be good to have it movable so it can be near the action. Unless, of course, this could be connected to the iTube system.
No, not the iTube.
But the machine would be able to send the results to where they're needed straight away and receive the information from everywhere else. And you'd have an interconnecting net of machines, like a spider's web, one day all over the world. And it could be called the Worldwide Spider.
Yeah, I'll get all that. It's just impossible to get parts. You'll need an entire hut, 300 valves, 2 miles of copper wire, and last time I looked, there was a war on.
Oh, but that's why we need the machine, because there's a war on.
Well, that's not my problem.
Look, this is a machine that can enable us to read the German codes faster than they do.
Well, I applaud it. Rest assured, the moment this whole Nazi thing blows over, you'll get that machine made no problem.
Yeah, when it won't be needed.
Well, until then, I can't help you.
Back to the letter charts.
All right, gents. Pint for you, Archie.
I could do with one. Hours are spent on those letter charts.
We don't talk shop in here. Charles, here's yours.
That's a pint of sherry.
That's right. Drink up.
Mrs. B, I'm not falling for that old get-them drunk routine.
I know.
Ah!
Oops. Sorry. Sherry all over your trousers. Let's get them off.
I'm not taking my trousers off.
Oh, look, here's a pint of paraffin.
Even if you set fire to my trousers, Mrs. B, I am not taking them off.
Come on, Charles. I got needs.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, you look completely knackered.
I am. It's those letter charts.
There you go again.
I think you should go and get some sleep.
Okay.
I mean, sleep on your bed.
I'll carry him up. Oh, blimey, he's heavier than he looks.
Minka helped.
Hello, Minka. Didn't see you there.
When Nazi come to your village, you learn to move silently like hedgehog with howitzer.
Actually, I think that'll be quite noisy.
You tell hedgehog with massive gun to shut up?
No, good point. Anyway, can you help me carry Gordon? If you get one end, I'll get the other. Or you could just carry him by yourself.
I have much experience of carrying bodies. I did say Nazi come to my village. Nazi did not leave my village. See you later.
Poor Gordon. No sense of moderation.
Well, when he has work to do, he goes at it like a madman. Fine line between genius and madness.
They're two sides of the same coin.
Except not all geniuses are mad.
Genii.
Whatever.
Whichever, not whatever.
My point stands. Einstein's a genius and not mad.
Albert Einstein. I've had him.
Of course you have.
I was in Switzerland a few years ago. He was a young man working in the patent office. I tell you what, I'd patent some of the stuff he can do with a slide rule.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. B. I suggest we end this conversation before you start making jokes about black holes.
Fair enough. Last orders!
Here's the next lot of messages for this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot face more letter charts.
Come on, Archie, we've been doing them every day for the last 18 months.
That's why I cannot face them.
You heard what IT said. They can't get the parts for the machine.
I know, but look, last night, I was thinking, pass us that circuit diagram again.
Archie, stop putting your faith in technology. There's no substitute for good old-fashioned hard work. Now, can I get back to my nap?
There's a message on the iTube.
Do you have problems giving ladies a good time? If so, try cribbage. It's mentally stimulating and good, clean fun. Buy your cribbage set from Hut 4.
What hut was it again?
Gordon! Look at this circuit diagram. I reckon we could do all this with a few dozen valves, some decent tubing, and a few hundred metres of copper wire.
But we don't have any of those things. And valves are impossible to get hold of.
Oh, well, there's a war on. You know, things go missing. And sometimes they turn up in the possession of other people.
That's theft.
It's not theft. It's simply unauthorised reallocation of resources.
Theft.
I prefer borrowing on a permanent basis, without asking.
Theft.
All property is theft. Basic Marxism.
Archie, if I agree to help, will you shut up about the proletariat?
Deal.
Evening, Archie. What will it be?
Mrs. B, I need to ask you a favour.
A favour? Right. I'll have to get someone to mind the bar.
Whoa, Mrs. B. Although you're in the right ballpark.
Good.
Yeah, don't unbutton your blouse just yet.
I'm a ticking clock now, Archie.
All right, I wasn't aware this was going to cost.
No charge, Archie, no charge.
Look, all right, look, there's this bloke called Ian Trent. He'll be in shortly.
Tall and dark, is he?
Well, not exactly.
Doesn't matter. The light bulb's gone upstairs anyway.
Well, I'm glad you're in the mood. Look, thing is, he'll be very grateful and he'll probably give you whatever you want. So, could you ask him for some valves?
Valves.
Aye, some valves. About 24 should do it. If I could have them at breakfast, that'd be great.
Ah, all right, valves. Breakfast. Fine. Anyone else you need me to get to know? I'm prepared to make any sacrifice for my country.
Well, it's not really a sacrifice in your case, is it? It's more an extension of a pastime.
I could have a word with the butcher. Try and get you some luncheon meat.
Not technically required, but if you like.
Ah, good evening, Mrs. Best.
Evening, Josh.
I was wondering if you could put up a poster for me in your hostelry.
So, what does this recruitment poster say? General Crusher says, join up. What are you? A big girl's blouse?
Direct, at least.
Archie, you might want to sign up, especially if I let you in on a little secret. Mrs. Best, could I use the salon bar for a private meeting?
Help yourself.
Archie, are you sure this room isn't loused?
Loused? You mean bugged?
Do I?
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Let me tell you about the secret operation code-named Operation Kidnap Hitler.
Let me guess. You're going to parachute into Germany and kidnap Hitler.
That's right. How did you know that?
You said it was called Operation Kidnap Hitler.
Ah. You're saying the code name isn't subtle enough.
Well, it isn't a code name. It's a name.
Right. Would it be better if we changed the name to Operation Don't Kidnap Hitler?
Technically, yes, that would be better.
Yes, but the old name does sum up the plan very well. We plan to kidnap Hitler.
All right, so you're going to arrive unnoticed, overpower his fanatical, well-trained personal bodyguards, and bring him back to Blighty.
You think we need to bring him back to Britain?
Yeah, you see, otherwise you haven't really kidnapped him, you've just met him in Germany.
Good point. Well, I'm sure we could all catch a train from Berlin to Calais. I've heard Hitler does run an excellent and punctual train service.
Right, so you and the entire regiment will be boarding a train for Calais.
Good point. That will be terribly expensive, won't it? We could all get day returns. They're often cheaper, but we're only going one way, and that's cheating, really, so I'd feel rather bad about it.
Josh, you're telling me that the entire regiment are going to queue up in Berlin Temple Meads and buy a day return to Cary?
I see what you mean. Do you think they'll do group bookings?
I'm sure they'll do a great deal for entire British regiments. I mean, free train ride to the nearest prisoner of war camp.
Well, we can't have that. We need to be at Calais to get the ferry.
You know, I'm not sure the ferry's all that frequent anymore. Pretty sure there hasn't been one since June 1940.
Oh, typical French. On strike again. Well, you've certainly given me some food for thought. I'll talk to Peter. Are you sure you don't want to come?
Even more sure than I was.
Well, not a word to anyone else. Pip, pip.
Morning, Archie.
Morning, Gordon. Charles.
We got the things on the list. Well, I say we. Charles didn't want to help at first, but in the end, we made a good team.
I said this technology would end in tears, but as long as it's your tears, Archie, I don't mind.
Well, thanks very much. Now, here are 24 valves.
But how?
Don't ask.
Ooh, Mrs. B asked me to give you these metal panels from the ironmonger.
Handy.
She also sent this screwdriver from the local electrician.
That's fantastic.
And then from the butcher, she got these 3 tins of luncheon meat.
Well, I wasn't planning on spam sandwiches, but...
And then 3 bottles of communion wine.
Mrs. B's been busy. Now, copper wire.
We got this from a telegraph pole.
Hey, nice one.
Someone did see us, but if they call the police, I don't think they'll be getting through.
And what about those pipes?
No luck, I'm afraid.
Minka fine pipes.
Hey, they're perfect.
Now, if I'm not much mistaken, those are exhaust pipes from a Bugatti 9. Very much like the one that Minka.
He need pipes, you have pipes, I take pipes. Peasy easy.
Minka, you can't just go around helping yourself to whatever you like. Unless, of course, you have a knife that big.
I still need something big and sturdy to connect the processing valves to the main input. Something that conducts really well with 2 arms that go out either side. Oh, thanks, Minka.
This metal statue is perfect, no?
It is, yeah. The way the arms go out, holding that sword and scales. My only concern is that it's from the roof of the Royal Courts of Justice.
And now is bringing justice to Europe.
That's one way of looking at it.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some difficult, delicate electronic engineering work to do. Now, where's me hammer? Aha!
Archie, do you need anything to eat?
I'm all right. There's luncheon meats around here somewhere.
Do you need some bread to go with it? Mrs. B has offered to talk to the baker.
Not now. It's ready for a test run.
This should be interesting.
Wait!
Guys! Hey, Minka, what have you got?
Gold is very good conductor, yes?
The best there is.
I have gold.
What the hell is that?
It looks like the mace from the House of Commons.
Maybe. I not know what it's called. Big room, green seats, men going, ow, ow, ow.
Yes, the House of Commons.
Why is there a dent in it?
Because there is now also dent in, what he called, Mr. Speaker.
You bludgeoned the Speaker of the House of Commons with the mace.
It was late, people sleepy, no one noticed.
Well, you know, maybe we can incorporate it into version 2. Look, let's see if version 1 works first. Flipping the switch. All right, give it a while for the valves to warm up. There we go. Gordon, put the punch card in there.
It's starting to shake.
Hold it down, grab a corner. Charles?
Right.
Ah!
Was it meant to give me a huge electric shock?
No, that was just a bonus. Ah! Ah!
Has it gone wrong?
All right, losers.
IT, what are you doing here?
It isn't how it looks.
It looks like you've made the machine I turned down with parts that have been begged, borrowed or stolen.
OK, then it is how it looks.
I'm glad you've been putting those valves to good use.
Oh, I see. Very good.
What's very good?
IT said no to Gordon's plan because he knew we'd go off and find a cheaper way of getting the job done and make it ourselves.
Oh, I can't believe I fell for that.
I can. Hook, line, sinker, depth charge and U-boat. Right, I'll take it from here. You lot have been reassigned.
Reassigned?
Ah, hello, chaps. Well done on this machine. When it works, you'll no longer be required for code-breaking duties, so you've been redeployed. Welcome to the Bedfordshire 3rd Rifles.
What? So, our reward for creating the machine is certain death?
On the contrary, our mission is certain to succeed. As you know, Archie, the plan was to parachute the regiment into Germany, kidnap Hitler, and make our way back to Britain on public transport.
I beg your pardon?
I know Archie raised some valid concerns, so now we're sending in a much smaller group. Us four, plus Peter. We should be able to get a super saver family travel card for the journey home.
What?
Don't worry, we won't be in British uniform. We'll be dressed as neutral Swedes. And our cover story is that we're a group of wandering furniture makers.
Furniture makers?
We've thought of everything. We're even parachuting in some samples of our work. A couple of wardrobes, a nest of tables, a 4-poster bed, although that's really for Peter.
Josh, this is utter madness.
So, see you in the morning for some training, and don't forget to bring a drill.
All right, gents, what'll it be?
An enormous scotch.
With water? Soda?
With another scotch, please.
Aye, I'll have that too. And a beer to go with it.
Gordon?
Orange squash, please. A really big one.
Sounds serious.
You know, IT knew exactly what was going on.
Well, I don't see how. He was wearing a blindfold the whole time and I had to talk like Vera Lynn. I'm broad-minded, but...
No. He knew all about the valves. The moment he knew you wanted valves, he put 2 and 2 together.
You got what you needed.
Yes, but now we've been reassigned. So, after breakfast tomorrow, could you serve all our meals into a bag and mail them via the Red Cross to Stalag Luft 3?
Oh, dear. Well, I'm sure you'll work out some way of saving your own skins. You normally do. Excuse me while I change the barrel.
So how are we going to save our skins? Apart from the obvious.
What's the obvious?
Well, isn't it obvious?
Apparently not.
We have a quiet word with the machine, throw a spanner in the works, you know, that sort of thing.
Charles, are you suggesting we sabotage a war-winning weapon?
No! Well, yes.
The clue's in the title, Charles. It's a war-winning weapon. Winning.
Look, I know it might be somewhat unethical.
Somewhat unethical. Right, there's out of order, there's unethical, and then Hitler. And then you.
Fine. And then tomorrow we fly to Germany and we die a pointless, painful death. Miles from home, carrying a mahogany nest of tables.
Well, I, for one, can't even imagine touching that machine that we created. It's completely out of the question. Well, I'm not saying we shouldn't touch the machine. I just mean we can't. Minka's guarding it. One false move and she'll blow your head off.
Oh, well, that's the end of that, then. We'll have to hope that she's persuadable. Hello, Minka. We were just going to take one last look at the machine.
You cannot pass.
OK, Minka, no need to resort to violence.
What a silly thing to say. There is always need to resort to violence.
We just want to see if IT needs any help.
I not think so. I think you come to break machines so we not have to go to Germany.
Minka, we don't stand a chance in Germany.
You pamby-namby British tea-drinking...
He's being realistic. We're being dropped in from a plane with a load of self-assembly Swedish furniture.
We must be disguised as Swedes.
Is that a problem?
I hate Swedes. Oh, look at me. I used to be a Viking. Now I am neutral and not fight anyone. My national dish is smorgasbord. It's just half a sandwich. Pah!
So you'll help us?
We destroy machine, yes?
Yes.
No.
Let's go.
Minka, wait!
There is machine. Now, which grenade? Meeny, eeny, miny, mo. Oh, I was saving that one for special occasion.
We cannot blow it up, Minka. That'd obviously be treason. We'd be court-martialed and shot.
And we'd lose a war-winning weapon.
And that.
We were just wanting to put a spanner in the works.
Do you have a spanner?
No.
I do.
There's someone down there. IT?
I know what you're up to. I can't say I blame you, but it doesn't matter. I can't get it to work. It just seems to seize up every time I switch it on.
Oh, that's a shame.
Now, if you can get it to work, you're a better man than I.
Well, that's hardly in doubt, but we may yet be able to fix it.
Well, if you've any luck, send me a message on the iTube. And by order of the Colonel, H33 is reinstated.
Yes!
See you later.
Ooh, I think I've seen the problem. IT?
Gordon, shut up.
Why did you put your hand over my mouth?
Because we're in the clear.
But I can fix the machine. Look down there.
Those are the tins of that revolting luncheon meat.
And that mechanism has been completely filled with spam.
Interesting. It's very interesting. And that is something I feel we should discover in about 2 days' time.
After Operation Expendable.
There's a big pile of letter charts here that need doing.
Pass them over. Back to work, H33.
H33 starred Robert Bathurst, Tom Goodman-Hill, Olivia Coleman, Fergus Craig, Lill Roughley, Alex MacQueen and Stephen Hogan. It was written by James Cary and the producer was Adam Bromley.